Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today. Our economy, guys, right now, it's basically a crime in progress right now. And you've been warned to stay away. You've been warned to get ready because these bad things are going to happen. And people are just walking around willy-nilly like it's no big deal. So there's so much to cover. Man, I'm telling you guys, I ran into a subscriber today at lunch, and hey, you gonna shoot today? I was like, I really do wake up and not think I'm gonna shoot every day, and then you get news like this, so you guys are in for it today. Man, there's a ton. Before I get into it, please take a second, please hit the like button, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, but let's get into it, guys. I'm right outside Lido Isle right now, and I love this place, okay? Just a beautiful, beautiful spot by the marina, by the boats. We're gonna walk over, get a little car background noise until I get over there. But the private sector just had a report issued about how basically here in the United States, we're not a manufacturing economy. And you can talk about, the auto industry, you can talk about machinery and things like that. We're basically a service economy. So much so that they just got the service numbers, and for the second straight month, the service sector completely dove down twice of where it was the month previous, and we are at one of the lowest levels ever. They keep track of these indexes between 1 and 100. Anything under 50 is considered a contraction in the economy or a contraction for that sector. So this would be the service sector. Delivering things, installing things, a service, okay? Well, flash forward, guys, and we're to 44 right now in the service sector. This is absolutely god-awful right now. And nobody wants to look at that. Nobody wants to sit there and say, things are good. Things are great right now. So, as we go through the economy and as we live through this summer, you're starting to see huge cracks that are not just like, hey, this is not right. I'm talking about major things in the economy that are absolutely devastating. And, the service sector being off, okay, everything's broken, guys. You have to look at this. You have to take this seriously at this point. Now, let's go to real estate. Here's the thing I get a kick out of. Fannie Mae, the lender, okay? The numbers that they have, and the story is below, is absolutely, this is insanity what they're coming up with. They're saying that the housing market is off over 16% right now. But here's where the numbers just get mind-boggling, okay? And that is that you've got loan origination. That last year, during the peak of last year, we were at $4.47 trillion in mortgages. Wow, that's amazing. That's a lot of money. Guess where it's at this year, guys? It's off by $2 trillion. $2 trillion in loan origination for 2022. So, guys, that's incredible, okay? Now, they think that we're going to write $2.47 trillion in mortgages in 2022. Now, here's where Fannie Mae is doing something, and you can say, wow, they're being honest for the first time. Guys, to give you an idea, that's Lido Isle right there. That takes you over there. You've got the peninsula side. This is the peninsula side, the inside of it. And then that's Lido Isle. This is the bridge that goes to the big open area. So, it's just kind of nice. You can rent these Duffys, these electric boats that are out here. But think about this. At the beginning of the year, Fannie Mae was drinking the Kool-Aid and being part of the crime scene where they were saying, hey, listen, the mortgage industry is going to expand by 10 to 12% this year and everything's going to be great. I'm going to find those stories too where they said this. But again, everything is great. Everybody should be buying. Everybody should be up, to purchasing their dream home. Well, wait a second. In 2023, they think that mortgages are going to drop to $2.23 trillion. Now you can say, it's a ton of money, Dan. No, it's not. Not when it's hit a high of 4.47 trillion, and they think it's going to drop even less in 2023. Now, think about this number. 73% of everybody that purchased a home in the last year, 73%. You know, 3/4 of them, guys, say that they, made the wrong decision. Paid too much for the house is the number one thing. Number two, bought things too quickly. Should have looked around, should have checked out the neighborhood. I had no idea that they stole stuff in this city. Okay, well, they do. I'm telling you guys, I just had this conversation at lunch with somebody. We were talking about, hey, when you go out and you rent or you buy a place, Dan, what do you do? Well, I told him I go at night, I go on the weekends, I go on holidays, I go when the weather's bad. I look at everything I can. Now, if I want to live in a particular, let's say I want to live in a neighborhood and I want to buy or rent in that neighborhood, I go there every time of the day, you could imagine. I go on the weekends, I go on holidays, I go on school days, I go on everything so I can see what you have in store for what's going to happen. Oh, that's a good idea. You get a good feeling for it. Yeah, duh, okay? Now, Fannie Mae is saying, hey, listen, we need to get more people to get home inspections when they buy these houses. Think about this. More people in the last 2.5 years bought houses without an inspection and got stuck with billions of dollars, billions with a B, of dollars worth of improvements that could have been avoided because they would have had to have seller concessions. So there are no seller concessions right now, guys. Sellers aren't giving anything back until recently. In the last month, we're hearing stories now about it being a buyer's market. We're not going to take this house with a dilapidated roof. We're not going to take that pool that's green. We're not going to take it without checking all the faucets, all the electric plugs, everything throughout the house to make sure the house is in complete working order before we buy this thing. Duh, that's happening. Now, got a real education talking to people that buy foreclosures and how this works, and that, everybody thinks that, hey, I'm going to buy a house out of foreclosure and I'm going to get this, it's going to be great. You run the risk that this house could be basically a shell. You're buying a film set. It looks nice from the outside. You have no idea what you're getting on the inside. You have no idea if they've spray painted the walls, if they've chopped down the walls, if they've ripped out plumbing, if they've stolen appliances, if they've clogged all the plumbing. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into. People don't do that, Dan. That's maybe in ghetto California they do that. They do that all over, guys. And talking to these realtors, we're seeing this stuff over and over and over again. So, inspections, buyer concessions, the beautiful Boise area, where all these realtors were just living the high life, la 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 la. Now they have to do things like stage houses. They have to decorate homes to make them presentable for sale. And it is considered a buyer's market in Boise. Do me a favor also. Name another city in Idaho that you would have heard people moving to. Okay? The only one I know is Boise. So name another one. Oh, it's just such a beautiful spot out here on the grass. Isn't this nice? Again, guys, a peaceful spot. You got to get away from people. You got to get away from work. You got to clear your head and be able to work places. But this whole thing with real estate, this is the thing that's going to bring it down. Now, the difference between now and 2008, let's go through it again for everybody that thinks I'm an idiot, okay? You're going to have people, last time you had the no income, no job loans. You could fog up a mirror, lie, it's stated income, guys. You tell us, I know you work at McDonald's, but tell them you make $250,000. We'll refinance the house before the payment adjusts. You'll be fine. Don't worry, you'll be fine. It's all going to work out. Okay, well, interest rates went up during that time. But what do you mean my payment's going to go from my $1 million house from, $1,200 a month to $9,000? What are you talking about? Okay, I'm exaggerating, but you guys get the gist. So now what you're seeing is that there's a tremendous amount of equity still in houses, and the banks are doing everything they can right now to work with people to a point, okay? And the point is this, guys, is that let's say that there's shenanigans, and it's a crime scene right now. Let's say that they're waiting till after the midterms, okay? Because that's what I've been told by multiple people that deal with multiple banks that don't know each other. So you're getting these people's opinion from around the country. Appraisers, mortgage brokers. How about this? I'm telling you, this is in the article, so I'm not making this up. Fannie Mae anticipates that they lost, on average, mortgage companies lost $78 per loan. $78 per loan. Now, hey, Dan, we lose $78 a loan, but we make it up on volume. Okay. You know, think about that. They lose $78 a loan, and they lost millions of dollars. The average loan company wrote $700 million of the loans. Read this article. It's fantastic. It is beautiful, but it makes you think of, wait a second, I think people overpaid. And that's the other thing, is that people sat there and said, they overpaid, they made the decision too quick, which means the neighborhood, all the bad stuff that goes along with the house. God, I had no idea the neighbors, ran a meth lab next door. That's discouraging. Yeah, it is. It is, to say the least. And the parties and the noise and everything that goes on. And that guy's got 3 boats that he brings out and parks in front of your house and drinks beer, okay, like it's going out of style. So there's that, okay? So again, you're going to see people that have regretted this. And I guarantee you're going to see the participation trophy people saying, it's not fair. I bought this. You tricked me into buying this house. And I know we borrowed 3 times against it, but you need to give the house back because it's not fair. I want my student loans forgiven too, even though I can't earn a living with those either. Gets kind of ridiculous, guys. Okay? So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I'm super duper curious as to what you guys think about this. But when you hear about these mortgage companies, and you hear about Fannie Mae, and you hear about the realtors, and you hear about the people that just say, what a disaster this home purchase proved to be. Now, again, we're eventually going to see rents drop to a realistic level someday, not now, but never in our lifetimes, never in the history of our country have we had a point in time where you didn't pay and you weren't kicked out. Just, it's never happened. So this happened during this time, and now people are still writing me saying, hey, I want the 4th stimulus check, Dan. I mean, I got that last week, guys, that I got that. And again, people just, want a free lunch, and they want to get some type of benefit. Now, Katie writes me all the time, sends me news stories all the time, and I always read everything Katie sends me, but this one got my blood boiling because the state of New Jersey is doing a new pilot program that they'd like you to be involved in, and that is to work on their per mile fee per mile of driving for your car registration. Okay, so think about this. The story's below and it's connected. You can read all this. I drive a lot because of what I do. Okay, I had times in my life when I drove 40,000 miles a year, so I drove more at different times, but I drive a lot every day. So I register my car in California. It's expensive. I buy gas, which is expensive right now, and I got to have insurance and maintain the car. So I pay more for my vehicle than the average bear. Okay, let's just put it that way. Now they want to charge me per mile. That's not fair. Okay, and again, if you guys are somebody, think about this. If you're somebody that you have insurance, and let's say you drive 25 miles a month or a week or something crazy like that, if you're not in the most reduced insurance level ever, you're kidding yourself. And again, I got to thank my mom about this because, she used to always go, get Scott on the phone. Scott's the insurance man for the family. Get Scott on the phone and get my rate down. Okay. Well, Scott had these programs at State Farm based on how you drove. And it's kind of cool in the shade, and you can see the boats out there. How you drove, you got discounted insurance rates. So take a look at this, guys, okay? You remember, if you don't ask for it, you're never going to get it, okay? So the worst they say is, oh, we don't have that. Oh, what do you think we are, Geico or something like that? Anyways, everything right now points to a problem. Service business is down, economies are down, people are firing people left and right. Now, think about this, because I love this. More companies right now are trying to figure out the problem with Zoom. And how do you feel about Zoom, Dan? You think Zoom, I think people, when they're left alone, I think there's such a small percentage of people that actually work when they're left alone. I really do. I think that the majority of people hang out. So they want to pay people less that work via Zoom and work independently. And I wonder if this is going to happen. Now, here's the other thing. And if there is anybody or any company in the Southern California, I'll drive within, how about 200 miles? I'll drive and do this. If you are one of these companies that's inspecting companies like this, let me know. There are people and HR managers that are showing up at people's houses right now and inspecting the house. Well, they can't come to my house, Dan. It's my place. It's my residence. No, you're working. You're supposed to be there working 8 to 5, guys. Not watching Jerry Springer and doing yoga and hanging out and, you know, other nefarious bad things. You know what I mean? But they're going and inspecting people and doing this. Now, I know I can't do this, but I would love it. If you guys want to invite somebody over to have me go and knock on the door. Hey, Johnny, what are you doing? Let's check out the Would that be awesome? Seriously. But guys, this is going to happen. They're going to show up at your house. They're going to knock on your door and they're going to come in and see how your work environment is. Oh my gosh, my wife runs a daycare out of here now since she works here. Think about that, guys. Think of the stuff that people are doing, okay, that the companies don't know about because it's off camera, okay? So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys, because this is getting good, but it's also insane because people are getting away with a lot of nefarious bad things right now. So share your thoughts on all this stuff. How about the loan companies losing an average of $78 a loan? That is awesome. That is the funniest thing ever. In this most inflated housing market ever, these idiots lost money during this time. It's insane. And it'll never be the same again. And I'm telling you this right now, you're going to see these houses that people cannot afford because not everybody is like you. There are people out there that could budget and live within their means. And you sit there and go, that's how we are, Dan. We live within our means. Most people don't, guys. Most people spend like it's going out of style. If you can borrow money, they go do it. You know, look at these people in the UK that are borrowing money left and right and hitting the credit cards like never before. 70% of the people in Canada right now say that I'm really worried about our lifestyle. I don't think we can afford our lifestyle. Why? What'd you guys do? Go buy a plane? Okay. And that's the other thing is that we were talking about how boats are 50% off last week. And people are looking at discounts for planes. You can buy a plane for 20 grand. I didn't know that. And Al from Princeton, he's the man. He's sending me all this stuff. But the average plane is like 150 grand. And on average needs $20,000 worth of work. Okay, which again, in the air, is it safe? Oh, it'll get by. No, it's not one of those things you can do. So, exciting times right now that we're living through. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. There's just so much, and it just keeps on coming, man. But again, when do you draw the line with everything? When you sit there and say, this isn't right, because it's not right. And you're supposed to act like everything's okay, and we're all gonna just get by, and there's nothing to worry about. And, you know, here's the thing that I truly believe. Oil is gonna be suppressed between now and the first week in November. I think it's the 8th or 9th or the 10th. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna see oil prices go kablooey, okay? And I think that's what's gonna happen. So you're gonna see food continue to spike and skyrocket and be completely out of control. You know, restaurants, discount restaurants. There's a place called Spires here in Orange County. It's got a few locations. They used to have this chicken dinner, which was a full chicken dinner. Half a chicken dinner fried with soup, salad. You get dessert with it. All this stuff. $6.99. It's the deal of the year. It creeped up. And I was in the neighborhood. You know, I get that to go. I haven't had that on a Monday night in a while. So last Monday, I drive over there, get it. Guess how much it was, guys? $15.99. Isn't that a deal? Isn't that fantastic? Guys, it's $9 more than it was 3 years ago, okay? So it's crazy, guys. Now, again, it's $15 and you can't eat all that food for that. I didn't finish it, and it'll last me a couple days, all that stuff. But guys, people can't afford this. Can't afford any of this stuff right now. It's completely out of control. We are seeing things from around the world that are just crazy. And first things first here, Ford Motor Company. Remember, they're doing great, guys. Ford's, they're going to build EV cars. They're going to change the world. Well, they just announced layoffs of 3,000 people. Hello, 3,000 people, guys. 2,000 are going to be Ford executives in different parts of Dearborn, Michigan. Bye. Okay, good luck. See you guys later. The other 1,000 are going to be at contractors that Ford provides. Now, what this means, guys, is sales reps and different people that sell components and things like that are definitely owned by Ford, but they have outside, workers that work there. And again, all of these people are adults. It's not like they got rid of the night shift at Chili's. It's major news that Ford is cutting back by 3,000 people. Now, I'm getting written to by all these different manufacturing companies. One of them was an eyeglass company that the company's sales are down over 50%. They just got rid of the night crew and they're cutting everybody's hours back and benefits back and things like that. You're going to see this more and more and more. Now, there is a term right now, and I hate these made-up terms, quiet quitting, where you quiet quit your job, where you just give them as little as possible and you quiet quit. Okay, well, how about go get another job? How about you're miserable? You have to understand this, guys. It's not just the employee's job to do well for the company. Hey, you have to give it everything. I've worked for companies that, through my life, that, hey, we're going to go public. You need to do 150% for us, and you'll be rewarded when we go public. Everybody at Google became a millionaire, and that's what's going to happen here. So I sat down with my jackass boss and showed him that if I got all my stock options, which would take 3 years to get, which I was not going to work there for 3 years, that I would get a total of $16,000. And that, that's what that's math doesn't make sense to me. Based on the number of shares, the share price today, and what you're giving us, it's ridiculous. So again, I've worked for places where my boss was horrible on multiple occasions, and I've taken it and I've tolerated it, but companies have to step up and do better for their employees too. They need to make it so people want to stay there. So it's not just people quitting because it's so bad. And again, you're going to see so many people in the next 6 months between now and Christmas, between now and the first of the year, lose their job. People that are in your neighborhoods, upper middle class people that are going to not know what to do because the guy's going to be 54 years old and hasn't looked for a job in 18 years. It's going to happen. And when I tell people to prepare, and when people write me and, hey, what's your husband do? Well, he's fine with what he does. He's never going to have the problem I'm having. Okay, you were never going to have the problem. So just get yourself ready. Let's pretend that everything is good right now, okay? And that the economy's coming back. Let's play this game. Well, I think you've got a little bit of a breather period before the midterm elections. And I think that all hell is going to break loose after that first week of November. It's the 8th, okay? I know the date, so don't write me and tell me I'm stupid. So November 8th, okay? I think that you're going to see everything fall apart, okay? And I think that by then it's going to be incredibly cold in many places in this world, and you're going to see people that have not been able to, are not going to be able to afford heating oil, natural gas, things like that, and they're going to be priced out of the market, and it's going to be horrific. And come on, Dan, it's not raining much now, and it's really not going to happen. I really think you shouldn't be so negative. Okay, I'm not trying to be negative, guys. I'm just trying to be realistic with what's going to happen. All the farmers, everybody that writes me, everybody that owns land and lives off of it, tells me one thing. I think it's going to be a really cold winter. Okay, well, you guys laugh at me. How cold is it going to be here? We may get some extra rain, which would be a good thing, but it's not going to be bad here. But you need to prepare for this. And like I say, prepare for what could come, because I think it's going to get bleak. And these per mile charges for car registration, that's a criminal act, guys. Think about that. They're going to charge you, for the environment, $1 a mile. Oh, okay. So if somebody drove 40,000 miles a year, they could pay $40,000 in car registration. How do you live? How do you have a trucking company? How do you deliver things? How do you sit there and go, you know what? I got to make some extra money and get some Christmas presents. I'm going to drive Uber at night. Not anymore, you won't. Not a chance, guys. You won't go Lyft. You won't do any of that stuff because you're going to not be able to afford your car registration. So, Bank Australia. Never heard of them, Dan. Well, they just announced that they're no longer going to lend money to combustible engine vehicles. So, again, lunacy, guys. Absolute lunacy. So you want to borrow money, it's got to be for an EV car only. Okay. Now think about this. The tax credits that were just announced don't apply to over 70, that's like 77% of the cars that are out there right now, and you don't get. But they also raise the price enough so that the tax credit is a wash. So good luck with that, guys. Good luck with that. Nobody wants to talk about all this stuff. There is a group of people that are trying to test the self-driving cars, and they want to get children involved. And these people, again, Child Protective Services should be called on these people. Hey, just let Johnny stand in the roadway and we'll show you how the car will stop at 25 miles an hour. Okay. There's guys on Twitter that are advertising this. And you think I'm making this up? I am not. By the way, isn't that little green area beautiful? You can sit there and hang out. So, okay. I love the geeks that have to prove it to us. You understand, this is the greatest technology ever, and Elon Musk is a god, and yeah, okay. He is. He's fantastic. Okay, share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I'm going to finish this video with these last couple stories. First things first, I've always thought, what would be a cool thing to do as a group that we could get together, have everybody that wanted to participate, and it would be fun. By the way, that's the Blue Water Grill behind me, which is a beautiful, fantastic seafood restaurant. But again, they're hit by, the challenges lately, staffing, things like that. But here's what's crazy. That place closes at 8 o'clock at night. You want to come at 9? 10? No. Mm-mm. And it's across from a place called The Cannery, which is really beautiful. But, I talked about this in like January, February, where you could rent a pub and serve pints in the UK. I mean, how cool would that be? We go, we have a party, we rent this pub, and, just own it for, a week. I mean, it'd be the coolest thing ever. Now, flash forward, and the Independent Brewers Union, which is an association in the UK, is saying that the average pub is not going to survive. Over 70% of them say that they're going to face closures this year because of the fact that they cannot pay the insurance, they cannot pay the energy costs that are going to spike 8 times. 8 times, that's what the pubs are being told. They have shortages of kegs, they have shortages of CO2, that makes the beer come out of the beautiful pump. Everything that they're experiencing, they have a problem with. And they wrote the chancellor, in the UK and said, hey, you've got to do something about this because we're going to go out of business. And there's no way, that we can avoid this. And this is basically a cottage industry where you have all these people that have grown up running these pubs. They've been passed down generation to generation, but 70% of them run the risk of going out of business. That is horrific, guys, when you think about that. And again, I don't drink much, but you go out and you have a good time, you want to have a party, but now, wouldn't that be the coolest thing to rent that pub and do that? But I'm thinking, I've always thought I would go to England and I would hang out and, meet people at a pub and stuff like that. And these people are going out of business. So this is happening worldwide. We're in a worldwide collapse economically right now. And people don't want to admit this. People just want to say, you're crazy, it's going to be good. It's good in my city, Dan, just because you live in California. If I had another dollar for every California, I would never need to work again, for all you people that write me and say that stuff. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys, but what other industries are doing bad? The IT industry, the cloud industry. Someone wrote me and told me, hey, this is great. You know, we do cloud telephone systems, and we are booming. Our whole entire industry is booming. That's great. And again, I totally believe that, because it's a less expensive way of having your phone system, your phone storage, your voicemails, all that stuff. So anything else that you guys can think of that's hot and on topic, let me know, guys. But please do not forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And you know, just another nice, beautiful walk through Lido and through this area. It's just peaceful, guys. It really is. But again, I think this is all, you know, an active crime scene right now as far as our economy, and nobody wants to admit that. But share your thoughts on everything, guys. Onward and upward, and I will see you guys very soon.